Are we recording over there? We are recording over there. Good. Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is the second installment of my studio build. In this video, I'm going to show you the methods that I used to stop the echo in my studio space. So what you may have noticed if you watched the previous video where I built my main desk, I'll link to those videos below, is that when I emptied the room, it was really echoey. So something had to be done. Now, I'm no acoustic treatment expert, but I did a lot of reading and I'll pass on some of that knowledge. But the main point of this video is to show you the before and the after, because it's a dramatic difference. So I'm going to show you how I did it and how we achieved those results in this video. So let's go back in time a little bit to before I started, and I'm going to show you the materials that I used and how I went about doing it. What I've bought are some foam squares, 5cm thick, 50 by 50 foam squares. I'm going to link all this stuff below in the description. 50 by 50 foam squares, some wood to build some frames, and some what they call bass traps. It's pretty big, this thing. They can sit in the corner of a room. They will deaden, stop those corner reflections. That thing's pretty cheap. Again, linked below. So I've got this wood, which I'm going to make a frame for and sit these around. So I'm going to have 4 of these and make a square. So about 1 meter by 1 meter. Frame it with these, cover that whole frame with some fabric. Here's the fabric. It's like a stretchy jersey, that with that over that. It means that I can create a frame of any size and it maybe looks a bit more stylish. That's what I'm hoping. So that's the general idea. What I should say is I'm no acoustic treatment expert. There's lots of opinions on it. They differ widely. It's all guideline stuff. I'm no expert. I'll link to the stuff that I've read below. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do it in my situation. And you can decide for yourself whether it's any better. So let's get on with it. I'm going to start building these frames and I'll show you roughly what I'm doing. So here I am on the other side of the room. Basically, how do we make a frame? Well, that, and that. Now, this is going to create a rectangle. Actually, I'm doing 2 squares side by side, so 2 50s. I'm doing 4 50s, and I'm doing 4 50s in one line, which I'm going to stick on the ceiling. So it's pretty straightforward. Basically, once you've got your ends, you need to work out how thick the sides are, because you want to drill some holes in the middle. So put a piece of wood on the end, draw a line, hang it over the edge of the table or whatever you're drilling it on, and then just drill straight through. Because the precise position of these screw holes is just not important. Countersink bit, put it in the end. 1, 2. So that's the first right angle. Is it flat? Well, it depends really on your wood. Not all of this wood is absolute dead straight, and I check all of mine. That might be dead straight, but on this small table it's hard to really tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this table to the side, put the rest of this together on the floor. If you can get a flatter side, get a flat side. That's fairly good. So we'll keep it that way around. Just turn it in and screw these in. So yeah, it's very slightly out. It's worth spending a few minutes to get that square. that. Now let me just lay this out and you can see it with the foam inside. So here's our frame and here are our things. As I said, now these are not quite 50 by 50. So there you go, that fits in better that way. As you can see, a tiny amount of wobble. And if you flip it, it might be, see this side is a little bit more stable. So we want that side to the wall. So I'll probably push them down there on that side. There's your frame. So next job, cut a piece of material and then staple it around. Then turn it over, stand it up, see whether it's, so pull it straight left and right, and then come over and get the first one in. And then that will flatten out on that side. So on this side, come back up here, stretch it a little bit, grab it with one hand, pinch it, come from behind here, about every 10 centimeters. Right, so then we've got to do the ends. So I'm no expert, but I think it's best to pull it this way on this corner and then grab that and pull that down. You want to check that you've not got any creases on this side and do the same on the other side. In order to do this middle, so again, grip it with one hand, flip it over, or one from there should hold it. Then in between, these can all be just trimmed. So now we have a panel which looks like that. Quite nice, quite stylish, and you can make them to any size you want, to fit any wall space you want. You don't have to worry about, you know, buying them to the right size, cutting them down, do they fit, don't they fit? You just have to buy 50 by 50 squares, make your frame and put them together. Okay, so that's how you do it, simple as that. I'm going to get on and make the rest of it, and then I will join you back when we look at where we're going to put them. Okay, so I've now made all of the wall panels. Here's the one that you saw me making. I just wanted to show you how I'm putting them up on the wall. Very simple. I'm taking 4 of these angle brackets and I'm going to sit them on the wall like this. It's like a seat, 2 of them, because then I'll be able to screw up from underneath into the frame, and then at the top the opposite way like that, so I can screw down. Worth double checking your heights. I've made that mistake before. Then we can drill. Always a good idea to use the envelope trick. Okay, so here is the panel. So it sits on those and should sit over these. On the other side, I was 26 centimeters from the panel. Not that that is massively crucial, but I want to keep it all symmetric. 20 millimeter screws, and I screw up from underneath, and I just need to make sure that it's flat on the wall when I do it. Job done. As you can see, as we just last talked about, the panels on the wall, and over the last few days I've been fairly busy. I've got some corner bass traps. You should hear already that this sound sounds quite different. I've got another panel which is directly above my head here, and I've also put spotlights in the ceiling. Did all this myself, it took quite a long time. I've also installed some network here because I realised that my Wi-Fi down here in the basement was terrible, so I've extended a network cable and run that over here as well. And let me just grab the camera, turn the camera around and show you, because this little space that I'm in here was a separate room at one point. We knocked the wall out. As you can see here, we've got a beam going over, and that beam goes over where the wall was knocked out, and then it comes down on this side, and the speakers are going to sit in the corners over here, so I don't want these reflections coming in. That's why I've got the ceiling on here, and I'm going to use these in the corners on this side to stop any reflections coming off these 2 sides. The question is, how do you cut them? You might think that what you need is some kind of special saw or some kind of real funky device. Well, I'll show you what you need. You need one of these. a bread knife and you draw your line. So you do your line like that. All you do is you do real long, drawn out strokes. If you can, on your edge that you want to be seen, which would be this edge in this case, you would start there, but it's just too difficult to do. On this case, we're going to start at the back to get a straight line. So we're going to go here, and we do it. Use the whole length of the knife and try to be as equal on each one as possible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come around here and show you what I'm doing from the other side. I probably wouldn't normally do this mid cut, but what I'm doing is I'm lifting up and pushing back in and then pulling back. There you go. So that is it, separated. You can just tidy up this edge with your fingers. It takes all those little rough bits off. Okay, so back in the corner, the cut side I'll put to the ceiling. This space is about 30 centimeters, and I cut this to 32, so it just needs to be shoved into the corner. Shoved into the corner with something underneath works a lot better than trying to glue stuff. So this one, which is what I cut before, is going to go in here. Obviously, because there's a shelf in the middle, I couldn't take a single piece. I could have made the shelf shorter, but I didn't think of that. I can only come down as far as this light. So what I'm going to do is, which is what I've done over this side behind me, is I'm going to put in a right angled shelf bracket here, and then I can wedge it underneath. So I'm then going to take my cut piece, push it up. Beautiful. Bob's your uncle. Anyway, so I've got one last piece to do over there. Then we can do the sound test. I'll turn the camera around to the other side of the room. These were made for the Kill Bill premiere. Anyway, so let's put the last piece in. This is a full piece, it's a metre long. Same thing. Just goes in the middle, just sits in there. It's just so much easier than using glue. Right, I just did a test with this long cable and it made a buzzy sound, so let me do another test. It's really bad, it's got like a boom, boom sound to it. So that's what we're trying to get rid of. So I think the clap test is fairly conclusive. On the high one, I can still hear a very small amount. I think that's coming from behind here. Or that may be the high up from reflecting back on this wall. But on the low one, there's very little echo now at all. So it's fairly conclusive. It takes away quite a lot. And even on the video itself, when I'm talking, you can hear already there's a much, fuller sound. Okay, so that concludes this video. That is how I have acoustically treated my studio space. As I've said throughout this whole video, it's a subjective thing. What you read up on may suit you or may not suit you. That's how I've done it, and that's how you can make frames and how the result can completely change the sound in a room. Quite amazing. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And now my studio's complete, I can fill all this stuff with gear and I can start making some proper music related content. So if you have subscribed to this channel, don't forget to click on the little bell icon, and that is going to notify you when I upload a new video. So in the next couple of months, I'm going to do quite a few of music related videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios. Adios? What did I say that for?